What's up? Welcome back to the Fee King Show. Fee King and Sekou Rights and Nelson the Cat. The whole family is in the house. Welcome to the Fee King Show, Sekou Rights.
Welcome to the Fee Show.
So, if some of you think that Sekou is a little bit of a stalker, it's true. He is stalking my show. I am so happy to be here. And you know what? Let's start the show off with one of Sekou and my favorite quotes. I learned this quote, this saying, this ism, this belief through Bob Proctor. And Sekou Wrights picked it up somewhere. Did you get it from Bob Proctor as well, Koo? Your affirmation, I am happy.
Yeah, I started with Bob Proctor, and I changed it. And then Rev Mel made a change. So it's three people. Me, Bob Proctor, and Rev Mills, and all contributed to
All right, well, let's start the show with that because it is one of my favorites. It is one of my favorites. You ready for this? Y'all ready for this? I am so happy and grateful to be a multimillionaire in every area of my life.
Yes.
One more time. I am so happy and grateful to be a multi-millionaire. Billionaire. Okay, now. Right. Well, in every area of our lives. Woo, Ashe and amen. Welcome back to the Fee King Show. The Fee King Show is all about who are you? What do you do? What is your why? How in the world are you keeping it all together? I.e., what is your self-care modality? I am your hostess with the mostest, your local fitness go-to girl, Fee King. This is Nelson the Cat in the cave and my fiance extraordinaire, host of Get Rich 101, author, inspirational speaker, incredible talent, Sekou Wrights. And it is Manifested Monday. The question on the table is, who is responsible for your life condition? Who is responsible? Who are you making responsible for your life condition? Who are you? Let's go ahead and start with myself. I am a woman, a sister, I'm a cousin. I'm a favorite cousin to my cousin Rosetta Bonner. Rest in peace, Rosetta Bonner. I am an auntie, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a pet parent to the most incredible cat, the most lovable, delicious, yummy, sweet cat who I was attempting to make responsible for my attitude yesterday. And we'll get into that a little later. What do? I help women over the age of 40, specifically, yet not exclusively, get physically and fiscally fit. Why? Because I love myself so much today that it only works to love my sisters where they are. Also, because I am a prime example that is not too late and you're not too old. It is not too late to learn from where you are. It is not too late to build from where you are. It is not too late. You're not too old to grow and sow from exactly where you are and with what you have. How am I keeping this thing all together? I.e., what is my self care modality? Running, hands down, exercising 6 to 7 days a week, reading, mindfulness meditation, transcendental meditation, and prayer. I am in a perpetual state of convening with God all day long, not just in the morning or the afternoon or the evening, but all day long. So let's get into this. Sometimes when I am engaged in the Fee King Show, I really don't know what we're going to talk about. Sometimes it'll hit me during a run. Sometimes it'll hit me during meditation. Sometimes it'll hit me having a conversation with Sekou or Tonya. I never know. Sometimes it'll hit me a week in advance. Very rarely. It's usually the day of, the morning of. So this morning, we were participating, we were experiencing our transcendental meditation and Bob, what's his name? Bob, he is the meditation facilitator. Bob Roth? Yeah, Bob Roth. Bob Roth said something. And then once I finished my meditation, I forgot it, but it was something that I want to go back to at a later date because I need to do research, but it resonated with me and I was like, maybe that's what we'll talk about. And I said, nope, this is not the time because you don't.
What we
Hmm?
talked about?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
It was something about childhood, something about, and I know if Rev Melissa's watching, she probably knows. We'll come back to it. So the other thing I was thinking about, it occurred to me while Sekou was doing his show, Get Rich 101, because Sekou was sharing on the train ride down to Boston that he realized he was having negative thoughts.
Yeah,
And while running,
yeah,
having negative thoughts.
yeah.
And-
Pick it up. Pick it up.
Right? And so sometimes I don't learn things about my Sekou rights until he does his show. And I said, you know what? That's okay. As long as you learn it, right? That is okay. So what
Happens is I learned it myself as I'm doing the show. Like I wasn't clear about it until I started doing the show. It then comes into clarity. So that's why I'm grateful for the show because it helps me get into clarity what I'm actually feeling.
I agree. Mine does the same for me, as well as two of many. I have a few things that really feed my soul, give me life, energize me. One has been consistently for at least, a long time. I'm not going to say the number, but ever since I can remember, ever since I was a young child, was exercising. Back then, we called it playing. For me, running track, running, movement has always been the catalyst, always hands down. It's been my lifeline. Now that I'm older, it's also being able to communicate. So whether that's one-on-one, whether that's on stage, whether that's performing my one-woman show, I recall saying to Sekou one time that when I am training a group of people, whether it's virtually or in person, I feel like I'm on stage. I feel like, and you did that when I told you, you were like, really? I said, yes, I feel like I am pouring into people. I am affecting people. Like it lights me up. I remember the first time I sat in a theater in the front row. A friend of mine in Houston was in a play. And and I was so full of anxiety for her because I'm sitting in the front row and I'm like, oh no, I would never, not could, but I would never do this. And afterwards I asked her, I said, weren't you scared? And she was like, I was a little nervous at first, but no, I love it. I was like, ooh, girl. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I said, I could never do that. I said, I could never do that. And then I became an actor. And I just remember thinking, it's kind of like statistically, it is said that people would rather die than to speak before a crowd. I was like, that is so final. Death versus getting up and speaking in front of people. But we all have our thing. It's true. It's because Bob Proctor said it, and I know it's true because Bob Proctor, he's been vetted. But other people have said that public speaking is the most terrifying act for the majority. Obviously, not for people who speak. For me, being on stage doing an act, a play, I was just like, never. And then here we are. So when I get to train a group of women or men, just a group of people, it lights me up. So those are the things that light me up: is performing, doing this show, exercising, communicating.
Exercising for real, because you insisted that we run just right now before the show.
Yes.
You know, she go like, let's go.
Yeah, it's important, and we don't do it because we are motivated. We don't do this because we're motivated. We do it because we're disciplined, and we've created this habit. And so anything in your life that you're wanting to achieve, it requires you to not rely upon being motivated. We don't wake up out of bed, woo, on fire. Oh, no. Oh my goodness. Absolutely not. But we absolutely not. However, we get that in the midst of the act, in the midst of speaking, in the midst of performing. For Sekou, in the midst of teaching your courses on finance, you get that surge of yummy, delicious, awesome energy, right? Yeah. So the question on the table is, who are you making responsible? Who are you making responsible for your life? Whether your life is working for you, whether you think it's working against you, whether there's something that you feel like is you have not yet accomplished or achieved. Sekou sharing what he shared on his show today, him realizing, being aware that he was having negative thoughts. Ooh, I said, man, this is so good because
Popping up too. And it's funny to go from having no negative thoughts, and all of a sudden having negative thoughts pop up.
And you know what that says for me is here's an analogy. Oftentimes we'll hold a person in the pulpit, a pastor, a reverend, a minister, on this pedestal. You know, we have the highest regard for them, forgetting that they're human. And so whenever they make a mistake, then we tend to drop them down to the lowest denominator because we forgot this person, this minister, this reverend, this pastor is a human being. And to err is human, even though you're doing the work, right? Sekou's doing the work. He's recovering from 2 strokes. He's recovering from amnesia. He's recovering from right side paralysis. He's recovering from aphasia, all of the things. And many of us are recovering from something, right? Because we're all going through something. We're all experiencing something. And although you're doing the work and you're becoming the work, does not mean that you're perfect, does not mean that you're infallible, does not mean that you too have negative thoughts. What it does mean is that because you have the tools, you get to reach into your tool bag and come up with the solution. You actually get to pull the solution out of the tool bag because you've been doing and becoming the work. So because he has been becoming and doing the work, he's aware. People who aren't doing the work and becoming the work aren't even aware that they have thoughts. They aren't even aware that they're blaming other people for their shortcomings, for their falls. They're not even aware. There's a lack of awareness to your own stuff. Does that make sense? Yeah.
I want you to go a little bit further. Give it to me again, but short.
Okay. When you are doing the work, and the work for each of us is different. So here's the work that I believe I know for Sekou: running, praying, attending church, getting involved in church in a way where he's actually speaking at church, teaching, learning about finances, reading, meditation. So that is an example of someone who's doing the work to better themselves, to improve themselves. Because he's doing that does not mean that he's perfect, that he does not have thoughts, negative thoughts. But because he's doing the work, he's aware. Someone who's not doing the work has no level of awareness.
Yes, I just add this.
Okay.
But from having a stroke, like there is zero negative thoughts because we build 10 people 2 years old, right? And building, and all of a sudden, negative thoughts are dropping into me, and there were none before, But now they're dropping like someone will cross me or jogging. It'll be in my head.
Yeah.
But not spoken, but in my head. I'm like, what is that? What is that? Why am I reacting to that person? Because the same thing happened a week ago. I mean, before
months, maybe.
Yeah. Earlier in the stroke, I would let somebody go and have completely no thoughts about it. And so I've got to catch that and reverse it.
And I think you might be grateful that you are experiencing that because it speaks to your recovery. You're getting back to yourself, but because your old self has you kind of transmuted your old self because you're growing into the new person that you are becoming because of the stroke. So what that says to me is because you're for the first time experiencing negative thoughts is, oh, wait a minute, that means I'm growing, I'm getting further away from the stroke. Does that make sense? It could be. But I think it's the level of awareness. So you get to actually be excited that, oh my goodness, I'm aware that I'm experiencing this, that I'm feeling this, and I know what to do about it versus panicking, versus being fearful of the negative thoughts. Like you actually have tools so that you can reverse it, you can at least address it. Does that make sense? So yesterday, I'm en route from New York City to Boston and then from Boston to the Cape. I had this grand idea to bring Nelson the cat. Why? Because I too have been having negative thoughts. And a lot of my thoughts for the past, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks have been around death. And I'm like, I don't think I'm afraid of death, but I've been having dreams that I've died, or that I've gotten a sentence that I'm about to die. And so when I wake up, I'm like, whoa, I got stuff to do. I still have life to live. And sometimes I think about Nelson not being here. And I don't want to not be in town if he transitions. So that's the real reason why I wanted Nelson the cat here, is because I don't want him at home by himself for 6 days. Even if someone's coming in to watch him, if I had someone like I used to have someone where he could go stay with them, I could be gone for weeks. It's fine. However, that's not the case. And so I said, you know what? Sekou actually said bring him. And I've been saying no for a long time. So finally I said, okay, let's bring him because it's all going to work out. Yesterday on that bus, wait a minute, let me bring this to the stage. Here. And so that's just a snippet of Nelson being calm. I bought these drops because I went live and I asked folks for some suggestions on drops versus, I think it was CBD. We went down the rabbit hole. Sekou sent me some calm bites. He was just eating those up like it was candy. We get on the bus. The calm candy. It was like treats. Yeah, it's called calm treats. It's no, I bought that from the pet store. Yeah, it didn't work, y'all. I get them on the bus. And so here's the thing. I went onto the website, found out that yes, you can bring a small cat in a carrier on the bus. I've noticed since COVID, and I'm sure you've noticed this, since COVID, websites have not been updating. They'll change the rules and you don't know about it until you arrive. So I was thinking, okay, think positively, focus only on what you want. What you want is to get on that bus with your cat and get to the Cape. And then I was thinking, but what if I say no? So that's an example of the tools. Instantly, like instantaneously, I'm able to now access them and talk myself off the ledge. Otherwise, before you know it, not only will you be thinking negative thoughts, you'll manifest the things and the people and the situations and the circumstances that you don't want. Not only that, you'll start to have negative conversations and you'll start to engage and attract people who are embedded in negative thoughts, negative conversations. And we don't want any parts of that. I have lived that life. Right? No parts of that. So I quickly checked myself. Everything was fine. We get on the bus and he's meowing a little bit within the first 45 minutes. He pees. I was like, no. And then I was thinking, this was a bad idea. And before I even finished the word idea, I said, this was the idea. You made a decision and it's okay. So you get to sit with that decision. You get to be okay with that decision. And you get to reframe how you feel about the cat urinating in his kennel. Are you going to let it negatively impact you for the next 6 hours? I didn't even think that went through. I was like, Sekou, I had no idea this was going to be a 7-hour trip. I had no idea. And I could have let that got. I could have let that get to me. Thank you. And I just said, you know what? You get to sit here and relax. You get to be still, which you hardly ever allow yourself to just be still. You get to be present, maybe take a nap, and you get to not be annoyed by Nelson meowing because he would occasionally, well, okay, he was meowing a lot. And then he's really quiet. And of course, I'm concerned about him. But where I noticed within myself the biggest shift was my attitude. In the past, I would have allowed other people turning around looking annoyed, maybe saying, "Oh, do you have a cat?" I would have let that set me off. Like my whole attitude would have just been funky. I remember who I used to be, and I just did not like her. I was like, "Why are you making other people responsible for how you feel?" 7 hours, not one time. And I said, I'm going to become a comedian on this next bus. If Nelson is smelling really bad, or if someone says, what is that smell? I'm going to stand up and say, it's me and my cat. I'm sorry. Let's move about on this bus ride. It's going to be short. We'll be gone. But oddly enough, and for those of you who have a cat, cat urine is pungent, strong. It is, and it was not. And I was thinking, it is. So here's a little story. When I was around 12, we were moving, we being my family. So the FBI had come to my mama's house, took a picture. FBI. Yeah, the FBI. It's a whole story.
roll past that real quick. The FBI came to your house. Wow.
Yeah. So Moms was involved in some things, and literally, so my mom was a move into action type of woman. She would make a decision at the drop of a hat. All I know is the very next day I come home from school and there is a U-Haul in the front lawn and we are moving. There was no conversation the night before. Y'all, I was just, so imagine being a 12-year-old child, you come home and there's a U-Haul and there are men moving furniture into the U-Haul and you go in and you like, what's going on? Just go upstairs and pack up your room. I was like, what? Where are we going? Are we going into hiding? Are we going to witness protection? All I'm concerned about is my cat. I was like, well, where's the cat? Once the U-Haul gets packed, my mom said that the cat has to go into the back of the U-Haul. Again, I'm a child. U-Haul truck, babe. There was a U-Haul truck, like the big truck, because it needed to fit a whole house with 2 bedrooms full of furniture. Mama said that the cat had to go in the back. I was like, well, can I just hold him? No, Felicia. So, but y'all, those of you who grew up in the 70s, unlike these new kids, they can negotiate. They have say-so. No, there was no say-so. You did what your parents said and that was it. And you didn't ask any questions. You just did what they said. Can I get an amen? You did what they said and that was it. Say cool. Cut it out. You don't know. Stop it.
Give me the amen. Give me the amen.
So my poor cat is in the back of the U-Haul truck, which is dark. It's full of furniture. It's a ride from Omaha, Nebraska to Denver, Colorado, which is about, I think, 8 hours. It's either 6 or 8 hours. It's a trip, y'all. By the time we get to Denver and we bring the top of the truck, the sliding gate up, that cat had urinated all over every single piece of my mother's red crushed velvet sofa chair. It smelled, ooh. So I'm very familiar. I grew up with cats, and that's what I was expecting on that bus when I realized that Nelson the cat had urinated in his kennel. I was like, oh no. You know that song? Oh no. I was like, it's gonna smell. And I don't. He did drink a lot of water that morning. I don't know, but all was fine. We got him to the Cape, And there's another photo that I want to share, and I'm hoping that I can because it's just nope. Go here.
Go to the-
Close.
Go
Okay. And so I will be sharing that on social. But he's here. He's right here, and he's still a little. He's still adjusting. He is adjusting. However, I am happy that he's here. Sekou is happy that he's here. He gets to meet his grandparents. Yeah, we got to meet the grandparents. And Nelson is very happy to be here with Sekou because Sekou is his favorite. All right, y'all. So chime in, Renata Braden. What's up, cousin Renata? Oh, thank you, cousin Renata, for reminding me something else that I am so grateful that I know that I'm in control. I have some control, y'all, because really we have very little control. God is in control. However, I am grateful that I get to see family when they come to visit. I tell you, I lived in, where did I live? I've lived in so many places, but everywhere I've lived or I've been, I love that I get to connect with people from, if you will, a previous life. And so I got to spend some time, just a little bit of time, but it was quality time with my cousin, Melanie. Melanie is my first cousin on my father's side. And what's really beautiful about this, I have a picture to share, and we're having some technological issues, but one monkey don't stop no show. What's really beautiful about this is Melanie, all of my cousins on my father's side, I was introduced to them when I was very, very, very young. My father, who's from Como, Mississippi, would drive from Omaha, Nebraska with me in tow to Como, Mississippi, and Memphis, Tennessee, Como, Mississippi, and Detroit, Michigan to introduce me to his side of the family. And so we've never lived in the same city. We've never lived together. But over the course of 40 something years, we've always managed to maintain a relationship, which is really special to me. It's important to me. And when Melanie reached out, I was just like, I want to see her. And I'm so grateful that she made it happen. And I was able to meet some of her cousins on her mom's side, my Aunt Helen, who I adore, who I miss, who I'm grateful that I got to experience a lot as a child. The South was everything to me, everything. So shout out to Melanie Johnson. Shout out to Renata who's watching. I love y'all. I'm so grateful that Mac introduced us and that we've maintained a really good relationship. Outside of being family, I feel like we're friends, and I love y'all. All right, this is the Fee King Show with special guest Nelson the Cat and Sekou Wrights. We are on the Cape. We are living our best life. Why? Because it is the life that we have chosen, and every day is our best life, no matter what. And getting away from our negative thoughts, and you too. And Sekou, what is a tip that you would suggest for people who are having negative thoughts? How would you advise them?
You've already given it. You feel the negative thought. You got to reverse it immediately. Immediately. Don't wait. Don't wait around or keep the idea around. Just fix it immediately. And then you want to do cancel. Say cancel. This is from one of the greats.
The cancel.
Cancel. And cancel it twice. And then put the positive thought right in the middle of it. Because you're going to have negative thoughts.
Yes.
You're going to have negative thoughts. But you got to catch them, flip them, and cancel.
I love the cancel. Yeah. Also, I would like to add is to be mindful to not engage with others who you know can be a trigger for your negative thoughts, who co-sign those negative thoughts. Yeah. Just don't do it. Oftentimes we look outside of ourselves for the solutions and the answers. Go within. Counsel with you and God. Because many people tend to fuel. They tend to just add, lighter fluid to your negativity, to your woeism, to your fear, to your doubt, to your worry. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
Meditate.
Oh, I was on that bus meditating. I was on that bus meditating. Let me tell you, I was doing all of the things. And the thing that I didn't do is I didn't get on the phone and allow someone to throw lighter fluid on my negative thoughts, on my insecurity. And that was my go-to in the past. Oh, I would call a girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
No. That used to be your thing too, Cyclone?
Yeah.
We no. I'm surprised, but we don't do that. Yeah, you don't, and you don't have to do that. All right, we're out here, God willing. I will see you Wednesday on the Fee King Show. Stay tuned, please, please, please come back and share Friday. Two Tonya Jones and I have an announcement. Actually, 2 announcements, and this is big. You do not want to miss On the Road Again with Fee and T. I will see you, God willing, Wednesday on the Fee King Show. We are out. Peace.